Chris, welcome back. Always enjoy talking to you.
Good
Even
morning,
though I,
sir.
even though I wasn't a Marine, and you still call me sir, uh, call me Dale or Coach, or stop making me feel like more ancient than I am, buddy.
That's out of respect. I got to speak for Chris on behalf
All
of Chris.
right,
That's out of
I know.
respect, buddy. That's
All
it.
right, all right, okay. Well, thank
All
you.
right, Chris. Good to see you, sir. Have a
Yeah.
great
You too,
have a great
Blake.
trading day, guys.
Thanks,
So,
sir.
you always, have something on your plate and top of mind every time you come in here, and you talk about diverse things. So where are you at? Where you going to talk about yesterday's sell-off in the S&Ps, and if you still think this is, there'll be a buying opportunity. Uh, so go ahead.
Let
I,
let's go
I,
for it. How is
all
everybody?
right. We're all, like the rest of the country and world, probably on pins and needles about the election. Are you?
Uh, I'm really not paying attention as usual.
Okay. Yeah.
So
You're better off.
apologize.
No,
Yeah,
I try to, and that's the answer I give people now because I'm so tired of hearing about it.
yeah. It's pretty muted in my world, but
Okay.
obviously it's globally one of the most important things happening. So every 3 months I come on, and the last time I came on was this day. So I believe it was the 18th of July, um, which, just for context, was the local peak there in July, and the market sold off roughly 10%. At least S&P sold
Yeah.
off 10%. Nasdaq went a little bit harder. And just for sanity check, you asked me here, what I thought of the market, and uh, let's make sure. Not too worried. In a bull market, the trend is in.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that we came right back to it, and keep myself honest. Um,
Love the
what was going on?
transparency. We're all wrong,
Yeah,
Chris.
I know. Well, so let me just make sure that so my perspective, and I want to start out with this, is I'm looking at about a 10,000 S&P, 40,000 Nasdaq area, like not the exact number, not anything, but for the next 2 years or so, I believe we're going to continue, and it's definitely not going to be straight up. We have all of this to deal with. All the choppiness throughout. Pretty much that's going to be the case. So, with that being said, this I don't think is going to be an issue. Turns into an issue if you're looking at the distance. Overall, we're 5,800, 5,900. We still got almost. I mean, that's not a double, but it's pretty close to a double from here. And so I got to expect a lot of the pain along the way. The way I so it's all ran. 95% of my work is done algorithmically, so systematically. Um,
Did
and
your
it all
system take you out? So your a systemic approach
exactly.
would have taken you out of the trade and not kept you long until the August low, right?
It's exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened. I was so from this period here, so the after April, positioning starts building from probably 20% or so all the way up to 100% of positioning up in here. And within a day or two, we were down to 10% positioning. As we proceed, so it's a long only, these are long onlys. As it
Yeah.
proceeds lower down into that area, it got volatile. I was at 10% positioning going into the we'll call it the August 5th crash. And so that was Meta. That was, I believe, consumer staples. It was very, very small exposure of a 40 ticker universe. There were like 2 to 3 positions that were on. We hit the bottom there, and that was I did 5% discretion. I basically bought puts on Friday, covered on Monday, only based on my positioning. It wasn't so much based on my witchcraft of the market, my ability to do what, Blake and Stelios and all you folks do so much better on the discretionary side. I looked at my positioning and it said, hey, we're only, 10% of our total position. And this is an outlier place. So I bought a put on Friday, or bought puts, 1% of my portfolio, covered on Monday for a 15x return, which, once in a year, once every couple of years, I get that sort of thing. But again, it was just the positioning that put me there. So I want to start with the positioning right now is at about 50%, just slightly under 50%, as we're, moving into new highs. That means that this whole period has been kind of light positioning. I also like to say I like to organize the market by market regimes, top down.
Can I just backtrack a little bit? So you're talking 10,000 S&Ps, right? What gives you the conviction that that's going to happen?
This is kind of a easy answer. Going back to World War II, pretty much.
So it's a technical measured move.
Right? No, I mean, it's not going to stop at 10,000. So I could say 50,000 S&P. I believe that until the global financial system changes and is completely rewired and redone, as long as we're in this sort of area, the global financial crisis doesn't do what it was going to do back in 2008. This would continue perpetually. That's the way I see it. As long as we have the strongest military and the global reserve currency, it should just continue to do that. But I would say that the likelihood of a 2000 to 2013 range, which is this area right here, where one of the longest sideways period going, we look back in the 1970s, of course. I would say that, we get to the 10,000 level, give or take 1,000, maybe, I don't know. And then we do go into maybe a 10 plus year, maybe 5. It could be an even shorter period, but I would say a longer, wider period of consolidation on the prices, which means, there were 2 recessions through this period. Very tough for a lot of us. Also 70s, same sort of thing. Like if you go back and look at the 70s, from coming out of World War II, it did spend a good 10 plus years banging around sideways, going through recessions and fixing itself. And I believe a similar sort of situation is inevitable, but it's a lot further away than we are.
Think.
Exactly. Yeah. I think we're more at the beginning of it than we are at the end of it right now.
Wow. Okay. All right. So tell us what you're thinking here after yesterday. You're looking to add to your exposure?
So yeah, no, the systems will continue to pull me in. That's a good question, because yesterday was actually quite normal of a day. In this bull, so down here I measure the volatility and direction of the S&P of any market. And in this like green area, we have what I consider the bull quiet. The biggest feature of that is that it is pretty much small up moves, and a lot of the moves happen overnight. So a gap overnight, dips get bought, and you can see that through a lot of these tails. A lot of the action happens, gaps up, goes all the way down, and comes back up. So the day feels kind of like, what did we do? But if you look at it over, the course of a month, you're like, oh, okay, that was productive. And if we look at the last 3 weeks, September 19th is when we had, it was CPI or something. It might have been I don't pay attention so much to that, but it might have been rates. We got that big move up, 1.5% after a big thrust up for about 2 weeks. And it has been 3 weeks of just straight sideways consolidation. And this is very common price action in the bull quiet market regime. Everybody gets nervous because the down days are big the up days are it's not, not as big. You see, so I guess Monday was a 1% up day. Tuesday was a 1% down day. Similar action in here. Just the average daily range in these environment is what I try to look at. The last 2 days, the average daily range for the previous month was 100% on these 2 days. So I know I'm probably throwing a lot of
that's a normal range.
That's a normal range, exactly. That's what should happen.
We were having tighter ranges, which was not normal before we kind of broke out of that sideways action.
Yeah. So yeah, a good way to look at that is this quiet range here for almost 3 weeks is I call it like day traders are in control of the market, where volume is kind of light, ranges are tight. You have tails, you have wicks. So you buy the dip, sell the rip, and you're within this range and it just bangs around. So day traders do really well because when you think about who moves a market, a day trader, I don't know about you, Dale, but me and my 5 or 10 lots of ES aren't that important to the S&P 500. The person who comes in and says, I need 100 million, that's going to move the market,
Yeah, you're just cannon fodder.
I'm just playing what I can.
Terms.
Exactly.
You're like the Russians attacking the Ukrainians.
Just line them up.
Get mowed down.
Whatever age we can get.
We all try and steal from the market before it steals from us, Chris.
That's right.
so I didn't know until today that you were that uber bullish the market. So it probably doesn't matter what. Just like I showed charts. Market bottomed in 26. Had a pretty good low after the election in 2016 when it was limit down.
Yeah.
What do you think of? To me, it feels like the market's going up, or even if we get a shallow pullback here, that the highs aren't in. I'm not as I'm in the 6,100 camp, and I think there'll be a pretty good, maybe like what we saw from July to August, something like that. But that wouldn't kill the bull market either from these levels. I'm too far away from the mic. So what do you do here, Chris? Just sit back and be patient and wait. Are you going to get? It doesn't look like the colors change much. Is there ever a red color at the bottom of your chart? Oh, blue. Okay.
Yeah, so there certainly is. We had red in October 2023. So we from the summer to October was it was a 4,900 down to what, 42, 4,300.
Yeah.
But those so I actually have statistics on this one that I brought with me. Bull volatile, I should have color coded this, but this is the blue, this is the green, this is the like yellow, this is light red, and this is dark red. So since 1927, the majority has been in this neutral, bull quiet, and bull volatile. Yeah. It's and you look at the chart and you're like, yeah, it goes up. And there's only been 246 days out of something like 24,000 trading days that we've had a major bear volatile, and that would be I don't even think the COVID one registered as that. Let's see if we can get to it real quick. Yeah, it didn't fully register as a bear volatile. So they are so few and far between that we can go back and find one here in 2018, what that Christmas Day.
They're as rare as a winning call or put trade. Right?
Indeed.
10%.
Yes.
That's pretty rare. Why do I look for them even? Wasting my time. So a lot of people are wasting their time looking for a swoosh in the market.
I think so. It's the trend is going to do it, and so it's easy to say that. It's somewhat flippant even to say, hey, we're just going to go up. So
do you ever get short?
Yeah,
it's a long only fund, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I went short the Friday before the big dip. Again, I was almost completely out
Yeah.
of all positions. I have a strategy that takes advantage of the overnight gap, and so I was waiting to see if it was going to go long on the close on that Friday. It did not go long, so that was like the green light to say buy your put. Go ahead and take 1% of your capital and buy puts, and it caught it. I'm going to grab this other. I don't have it right in front of me, so I need to. Here it is. I have another tool that I'm happy to share with everybody here on how I do figure out where these buying opportunities really are, and to expect the chaos that's going to be happening. And so, this is a regular S&P 500 weekly chart, SPX. And down below, it is a 10-week moving average of the New York Stock Exchange advancing issues. The symbol is ADV on TradingView. And so I just took off this is what it looks like when it's the advancing issues. It's not very useful somebody could use it, I'm sure. But I put the 10-week simple moving average on it. That's all we're seeing here on that. And so this gives me an idea of positioning again in the advancing issues, right? Are they buying? Are they selling? Are they, and historically, this has been the best place to buy this shaded area. Even if you bought kind of the beginning part of getting into it, within a short period of time, you can see, even if you bought it February 2020, within 6 months or so, you're back to profitability. So it's not a perfect timing vehicle. It's not meant to be a timing vehicle. But what it is when you get into that area, that means that positioning is overdone to the downside. And so you start looking for the upside. Now, the October 2022 low and the COVID low and the Christmas 2018 lows are the only ones that actually breached below that range. And same, for over a decade, it hadn't really happened. So it was kind of unique, this period from the last 6 years or so. But as we came into this one over here, this is the recent bottom we had. This August bottom is right here. And
nice.
So that
Chris,
gave
you teach all this
that's
stuff.
This.
And you teach all this stuff. You mentor people, don't you?
That's right. At Pollinate Trading, we go over this stuff. We run it live every trading day. We got we have some systems, day trading systems, swing trading systems to participate in all of this.
Is it one of the most rewarding things that you've ever done, teaching someone how to trade and then eventually seeing them get it and then eventually seeing them outperform you?
I love the moment where we get people, so much. I love the moment where we get people away from thinking that they are
losers.
I think it's better of saying, like, you get them away from the fact that they're not George Soros or Stanley Druckenmiller, and they're managing their own life here and getting that perspective. I think that's like my favorite part, is when it clicks to people that they could be that if they would want to be, of course, but more importantly,
they say, Chris, a good coach can change the game. A great coach can change a life.
What
kind
that's
of coach
aspirational. I aspire to be the latter.
All right, then keep at it, man.
Yes,
and
sir.
does it make your work better when you're being accountable? When you're laying it out there, to people that you're going to bring your best stuff to the table.
It's so great having such a diverse group of people who have so many opinions and perspectives, and getting able to learn from them and
It's a
form
good,
our opinions together, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it's
a community. All right. And I talk about
absolutely.
the importance of community, not only in trading, but um, for everything, for your life. So that'd be a good segue for you to show people how they could get a hold of you, follow you. I know I see a bromance brewing between you and Saloon. So, I just want to make sure he has your phone number.
Yeah.
So, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Pollinatetrade.com. Come on over.
You
You
want to
can,
show it? Yeah, go ahead, show it.
yeah, you
Let's
can
do a
sign up right
commercial for
here.
you, man.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
All
here.
right.
It's free to get on the email list. I do a couple emails a week. Um, there's I'm writing blogs on that. Of course, I'm doing YouTube as well, kicking up YouTube now. So go check me out on YouTube. All of that is all free. If that is at all interesting, there's other things that you can, support my
Yeah.
work through purchasing, but um,
Okay.
none of that is what we're talking about here. I'm just trying to, give everybody what we can. We had a question top of mind, Chris, a trade for today. Mean reversion to the upside is my call for today. I would be looking for S&P to do what it normally does, which would be move back into upper range. If
Yesterday's
it,
range.
yeah, if it
We're
if
gonna
it breaks
take it out.
below,
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know if there's a catalyst to make it happen today. I think it's a very news light, even though earnings are starting to happen. I think it's a news light week or two, so we might not
Yeah.
get much action.
It'll happen over the weekend when Israel retaliates.
This is the thing that I say every day. It's up to Israel and Iran to move the market for us because we don't have a whole lot of news happening right now, and that's
Yeah.
an unfortunate way to look at it, but that's where we are.
Yeah,
And
come on,
then,
guys. Let's start World War III so we could have some larger average trading ranges to trade.
geez, what an
Thank you.
awesome way to look at it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's
we're like Bobby in that series Billions,
oh,
who made
geez.
his first score shorting airlines as he was watching planes go into buildings. So
I will throw one last little piece here too.
go ahead.
The
Yeah,
positioning we had mostly from last November or so
yeah,
into the July peak,
yeah.
mostly big tech, mostly
Right.
highly profitable, huge profits, billions, and 20% profit margins nonstop. Right now, the only things that we are in that sector, we're 50% or so exposed long, and it is energy, it's staples.
And
Costco's in
semis.
there. We do have okay. So the only thing we have is the semi sector, not an individual name, because the volatility of that being Nvidia. So we're only in this semi sector ETF SMH, but
Okay.
the only things that we are in that is big tech on an individual name is Meta and Apple. Everything else is not in our world right now, which might explain why we haven't really been doing a whole lot of big pushing. It's rotated into energy. It's rotated into staples, consumer staples, which is odd.
Yeah, which is
And
defensive.
exactly, which is odd at highs. And it's at
Yeah,
50% win rate. So if it's wrong, it'll get out and it'll get into, big tech or whatever thing. But it is an interesting positioning is an
yeah.
interesting thing to look at as we are going into the
Well,
maturity of this bull market.
look at the July high there in S&Ps, and now pull up Nasdaq 100, and we'll wrap with that.
Oh, I know exactly because I made a
All
bet
right.
with somebody on the
All right.
internet that I'm
All right.
gonna.
So look at that. So the S&Ps took out that July high by a ton, and here we
Yep.
are. We're not even there yet. So
Yeah.
definitely, leadership has shifted. How
I
long that? Anyway, that's all you can
yeah.
say. What you can
You're
extrapolate
you're
what that
100% right there.
means.
100%.
So, Chris, great talking to you, my trading warrior brother. Really, always good. You're an Uber bull. I don't.
I
I
always
thought,
look forward to this.
I thought that Dave H. Contrarian was the Uber bull. He's only looking for 7,000. and you're talking 10, you win now, man. Okay. You're the most
Well,
bullish
it's just a
guy I know
random
on the planet.
area.
All right, well, you're randomly the most
Thank
bullish
you.
guy
That's
on the street, man. So thanks for being with us again, buddy. It was really
you
great
bet.
having you.
Glad to take that title. Yeah, you as
All
well,
right,
Dale.
and all right, and people are thanking you. So good hunting. I'll talk to you in January.
I look
And
forward
we'll
to
see
it. Have a
see what kind of
wonderful
world we're living
Q4.
in. Yeah.
Uh,
Good hunting, buddy.
yes, sir. Have a
Chris
wonderful week.
Stover, everyone, and follow him at Chris D Macro on X. Go to his website, check it out. Um, you could tell what a hard worker he is. He's coming up with proprietary stuff. The best people are the people that live and breathe it and are not. It's not work. They love what they do and what they discover, and then applying it. So you can't be lazy and successful in trading. Just want to let you know that, unless you hand your money over to someone who knows how to do it. So that's a wrap, everyone. Have a great day. Chris was great. We had the whole team here today. Consider upping your game and hanging out with the team. We bring guys like Chris in because you know what? If Chris is your cup of tea, we don't consider it competition. We just want you to find the best place for you. And you're not going to find many companies that do that. Speaks for itself. So don't just count your pips, count your blessings. See everyone for the ECB tomorrow. Good hunting. I like Blake's falling wedge. I'm still long euro looking for the pop. See you guys tomorrow. Adios.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.